Hello world, and welcome back to another episode of Beyond Reality. So, I did manage to get most of my medium voltage stuff up and running here. I think this episode we're going to go for applied energistics because, yeah. But here I have my advanced autoclave and an advanced distillery. Now basically what the distillery is doing is, distilling water, of course. Well, self-explanatory. So distilled water actually reduces the amount of energy it takes to process things in the autoclave as opposed to normal water. Now, I don't know if that's offset by how much power this thing takes, but I've been producing my pure crystals in here, and I think I'm ready to go. This guy I don't think was here last time. I went and disabled my Railcraft boiler and set up a GregTech boiler. Basically, this guy is it's producing a lot more steam than that over there, and it's tacking my charcoal. I think we make just enough because last time I looked it was at 111, and I went and did some things and came back and it was up to like 120 or so. But yeah, this guy really chews through charcoal. But I guess if we take a look at it back here, this is how I have it set up currently. So right here we have the water input. And here's an input bus that's going to take the charcoal, and then up here we have an output hatch, which outputs, of course, the steam. So, yeah, I mean, it's not too hard to set up. Of course, you got to make all the stuff for it, but it works a lot better than that Railcraft tank. I'd had two Railcraft tanks set up here at one point. I don't know if it was like the last episode if I had it for the electric blast furnace, but yeah, two of the low pressure boilers was not it does not even compare to one steel boiler from GregTech. So I might need to expand out my wood production. Now I did do a couple other things. Oh wow, I need to go check my inventories. We're overflowing. I changed this to a powered spawner, and because we were using so much charcoal, I've disabled these guys in favor of zombie generators. So basically what we're doing is we're taking sugar from the farm here along with zombie brains produced over yonder. Well, actually any one of these three guys here will work in here, but producing the nutrient distillant or whatever and populating it out here. So we're making plenty. I think that guy over there takes 80, which is these two, which leaves us six other 80 RF per tick. Yeah, so that kind of reduces our holy cow. Apparently I need to trash that stuff. Let's do that. Let's do that now. I hate to do that. You can actually pulverize this stuff into gold and smelt it back, gold dust, and smelt it back. So if I figure out a way to set up an automatic repair, we could actually make use of these guys. See, we just need to repair everything in here that's basically gold and dump anything else. I mean, I'm getting iron ingots from those guys, I think. Yikes. And I also have some other things in here, so I don't want to just throw this box away. No, I hate to detract from this episode, but that's kind of a critical issue, I think. So let's make another box, and we'll just swap it out for now. It's probably going to fill right up, though. So let's make a chest with some iron. Hey, the bag didn't get me that time. Haha, I knew exactly where it was. And put him back there, and gold. So this is why that armor is important. So let's pop this guy in here. I'm debating whether I want to turn this into a diamond. Let's go ahead. It requires... I've been being very careful about my diamond consumption, just because I haven't found another vein yet, so I don't feel safe spending those diamonds quite yet. Come on, I want to do this. I want to get AE, but I need those diamonds. There we go. And let's pop them in here. So I apologize if the audio on here isn't what it was, you know, the last episodes, but I've recently upgraded my motherboard and processor, so things are a little wonky in terms of audio levels and stuff. I haven't got it all leveled back off yet, so hopefully everything's okay. There we go. And that's probably gonna just fill right up. I'm gonna have to work on that, I guess, and get that to a viable solution for gold, I guess. So here we go. Now the first thing we want to make is a charger, because we're gonna need charged Cerstus quartz to make Felix dust. So we have we don't have a table in here. Let's steal this one. Wow, I have 60 diamonds down here. Well, now we're rich. Now we're rich. Well, darn. I want to use this guy, and I have nowhere to put all that stuff. And I want to avoid running back and forth. So I'm going to go ahead and cut, because you know I hate to make these episodes take so long if they don't need to be. But I'm going to go make another production table, get it upgraded, and I'll be right back so we can actually get going. Alright, and we're back. So, yeah, some developments here. I had accidentally recorded the entire next piece of this episode without any kind of voice. So, got my production table. It's all good to go, and I've also got a whole AE system set up. So, yeah, it's kind of disappointing how this turned out, but yeah. Well, I guess I can kind of go through how I set things up at least. So obviously we've got some drives made up with some storage, and we're getting, you know, we're getting lots of ingots. Down here I've got all of my one-off drives. Basically, it's an entire drive for nickel or iron, redstone, blah blah blah. And then up here I have kind of my combined kind of thing. So, you know, all the Ender IO stuff is in this drive, and then some general storage for miscellaneous garbage. I stylized the room up a little. It looks nice. I don't know about the water, but yeah, well, we'll see how it works. So yeah, everything's working really well with this. And if we go down here, we've got the controller here and our main line that basically branches off to the various areas, and then up here is my applied energistic stuff. Ooh, I didn't want that to connect to that storage drive. I'm gonna have to fix that. Yeah, because basically what I want is to have all the storage on its own branch, and then have all the other applied energistic stuff on its branch. But since that's connecting to the drive, I'm gonna have to fix it. I'll have to do that later. But yeah, this all works here, and we've got stuff running off. I need to actually hook this guy back up. I suppose I could do that now, because basically what we want is to have Ender IO, depending on all the crafting stuff we want to do with it. We might want it to have, you know, its own sub network. And I guess I should have made another hatch down here. Well, that was the wrong place to put a hole. So I followed some online tutorials and made this guy up, and basically it'll supply you know, 32, 32, 32, 32. I think 64 channels in all. I don't remember exactly how many it is. Yeah, I don't. I'm new to this. So I've got them labeled too. So this is going to go up to the factory, and this is going to go to our AE part, just so I know which one of these goes to which. So if I put this on here, and we'll call it Ender IO, and this will go to our Ender IO room. And I guess I'll go ahead and use this card. So shift right click on the P2P tunnel, and then we can come up here, over here, and this is going to be basically our Ender IO branch, and then we click on that and it'll load up the settings, and then this should, yeah, there we go. So now my terminal's online. So I think basically what this says is this Ender IO room will have in total 32 channels to do with that whatever with. Right now this is only 8 channel cable, so I can only do 8 different things up there. I probably shouldn't have used the smart cable all the way because I'm only using 8 channels, but yeah, oh well. And I'll show you what I did up at the factory. I might need to reconnect that as well. So let me make up another card here, because I don't know if I have the factory offline currently. I kind of been redesigning things as I go. So basically what I can do with this is pop this guy in here and rename it, but I need levels, and I've prettied up this room a lot, and I've got zombie generators here going for supplying our passive power generation, and I took out the charcoal generators, or the Stirling generators. We need all the charcoal we can get for the factory up above, so it didn't make any sense to run this off of charcoal anymore when I've got the zombie farm over there. So these are all good, and I don't know if I maybe said that on the other segment. It's been a day or two. So what was I doing? I was going to rename this. Let's grab some levels. I think I need 9, but and then this is going to be Ender IO. Yeah, I hate that little graphical glitch there. Why not? And there we go. And since I have the reading enchantment on my helmet, I can see what it is without even having to pick that up. Actually, I think you can see it without that anyway. But okay, so we've got that guy hooked up, and let me go see if my terminals are offline up here as well. Oh, it's online, so I guess I don't have to make another one up right now. So some of the developments then between the two cuts, because I didn't feel like coming back in here, is that I set up some ore auto processing. I can dump ores in here, they'll get crushed up here, they'll go into the ore washing, so it'll start washing the crushed ores. It'll bring the purified ores back into this rock crusher, and then the purified ores will go into the centrifuge. Actually, it makes purified dust, and it makes byproduct dusts, and those byproduct dusts I send out here to the advanced electrolyzer, and then into one of these various machines. Right now, the only thing I'm using these two for is processing diamonds. The sifter will get you a chance to get more diamonds. So if you look at the purified, oh, it won't show me unless I go through diamond ore. The sifter will get you some interesting byproducts, basically. So if we go in here and follow this, we crush it, and then we ore wash it, I believe, into purified diamond dust. And then if you look over here, you can take the purified and feed it through a sifter for a chance of all these different byproducts. So the percentages are a little low, and actually you have only a 15% chance of getting an actual diamond, but your odds, kind of even out to get more diamonds out of it. So if you get one of these, it basically makes 4 diamonds, because you hammer this into 2 flawless, and this will hammer into 2 diamonds. These guys break down into various amounts of dusts, and then you need 3 diamond dusts to make 1 diamond. So you can combine things back up pretty easy, but this is the only thing I'm using these 2 guys for. Let's go check that out, because I worked on this thing. This has been the source of my attention for the last couple days, because I really wanted to get something worked out for facilitating this, and I had just a horrible time trying to figure out how to deal with all these dusts, and that's when I found the type filter. So basically what the type filter will do is allow you to filter this GregTech stuff, is a nice way to put it. But you can cycle through the different things here. So for instance, this one's taking small dust. It'll only accept small dust, and then what it does is pipes that into this chest buffer, and then the chest buffer can be configured to output a specific number of an item in here. So basically this one's set to output. If you right click on it and the output side with the screwdriver, it'll increase the number of items it'll pass through. So this one's set to output 4. So it'll only ever output 4 of a specific pile into the packager. The packager's set up with a schematic for dusts. So basically it'll combine dusts into the higher tier form. So this will combine 4 into a big pile of dust and then pull that out. Now on this side I have the tiny piles, which require 9. So if you see in here, I've got a bunch of dust just kind of sitting around waiting, because I don't have 9 of any of them. But then it'll pump 9 out into here and combine it into the big pile of dust, and it'll basically, all the stuff comes into this chest and is brought back out. So if we look in here, we've got this various stuff. So based on that, then we have to kind of coordinate all these machines to output various to get various things to where they need to go, and that's the purpose of these type filters here. So if you look at this type filter, it's taking crushed ores, and only crushed ores. This one's taking purified crushed ores, and this one's taking pure dust. So I then color coded my Ender IO system. So if you take a look at, there it is, my wrench, you can see I've got various outputs color coded. So I think it's blue. Yeah, the blue is always going back to this chest, because this is kind of our work chest. Purple is always going out to a non-machine type of thing. So if you look here, it's going out to all these item filters, and if we went down there, there's item filter, there's purple dumping into these ones too. So basically it'll always dump into some sort of item filter, and there's some special cases with, for instance, the sifter, because I want to make sure I sticky only, I don't need both of these in here, but I wanted to make sure I sticky purified diamond ore to only go here and nowhere else. That might actually be a problem with this item filter, because this one, because this will accept the crushed. Darn it. What color was that? Brown, I think. Yeah, because that'll accept the purified. You know what? It's all running on purple, so it has to get in there first. Yeah, so that works fine. So this will sticky. No purified dust will, diamond dust will go in there, because this is sticky to purple, and purple's running into there. Whew. So that's good. Yeah, geez. This took. I had cables running all over until I figured out how to simplify this whole setup. This is just kind of a holding chest for my crushed ores. As you can see, I have a ton. So this will output. This will only get those crushed ores. Now I think for some reason I'm thinking something's not working, because we've got all those crushed ores. So The ore washing plant, yeah, is not doing anything. Set to light gray and set to in out, and I've got this set to light gray. Extract always active. Well, I'm getting more. Oh, you know what? It's. Oh, I forgot to disconnect this. It's been looping. That's the problem. Yeah, there we go. So now this is working fine. So the basic idea, and I guess the words of wisdom I can leave for this, is to use these type filters and make sure you color code things to do specific tasks, because that's going to make this a whole lot easier. Now for this setup, this ore washing plant, it's the bottleneck, and I could set up more, but the problem is my steam, even with that boiler, it's getting close. At one point I did have more machines hooked up, and when they were all firing, it actually emptied out my steel tank over there. And yeah, so I'm pretty close on the amount of steam I can use. But for the applied energistics piece up here, if we come down this way, and I made all these nice little hatches, this is kind of the underbelly of the factory, I suppose. So it all runs up to here. So this would be our main line back down. And what I have is, for finished products through our ore processing, I have an import bus bringing things back in, and Steve's factory manager is controlling. I can't open that chest because there's a block above it. The Steve's factory manager is controlling how all that's piped. Now over this away, we've got, this is the panel up here. So I wanted one right here so I can just run straight in, grab something, run back out. I don't have to go through the factory to get there, and it looks kind of nice too. This guy's running to the panel up in the factory, and then over here I have things set up for auto crafting, for instance, aluminum dust and titanium. Something's wrong here because these aren't processing. Anyway, with that whole ore setup, I'm getting titanium like crazy, so I should be able to continue on relatively shortly, if I get that smelting that stuff up, to the next level here of Greg Tech. Why you no worky? Let's hit it with a rubber mallet and see what happens. Do I have it on me? There we go. Okay, let's bonk. There we go. So this guy, apparently I left it producing some steel as well, and back there I have, obviously I've redesigned this whole floor. Yeah, might want to plug that up. So back here, all of this is upgraded to medium voltage, and I have a system here to get oxygen in, and you need the oxygen gas in order to produce steel and some of the other metals. So you've got, yeah, okay, so you've got your compressor here that's compressing air, and then the fluid canner, which is extracting that air. This pipe is pulling it back into here, so it'll produce empty cans. The empty cans will go back into the compressor and then come back in here. It's outputting the gas over here on a distillery set to, with an integrated circuit, set to produce oxygen gas from the compressed air, I guess. I think that's how it works. Yeah, I don't remember. It's been so long. But yeah, so that's all set up and working, and I can produce steel and all that stuff kind of automatically. My charcoal's going really well because I went ahead and added another tree farm, and I guess we can go take a look at that. Basically, it's a duplicate of the one I had set up, because that was working very well as well. So, moi. Oh my goodness, I gotta light that area up. It's a mob farm. But yeah, wow. How's that one keeping up and this one's not? Oh, you know what? I know what. Where is... What is it? That's not it. That's it. I bet you, because I set up a chunk loader, some of it's out. Yeah, some of it's out of the range. I might need to recenter that. Yeah, because those are popping over there. I wonder what happened. Maybe the... Yeah, I don't know what happened. It doesn't seem like it should be keeping up because this one's not keeping up. Hey now, get out of here. Anywho, for the whole AE stuff, I'm kind of annoyed that I didn't have that audio. Basically, what happened is I switched to a different recording suite after that first bit, and I should really do that between episodes, not during episodes. But it produced an overlay on it, and it wasn't really working that well. It was actually hitting my frames per second. The shadow play, the NVIDIA shadow play, works much better for me. So yeah, I think that's all the developments. Maybe we should go look at this Steve's Factory Manager setup for this ore processing, because it's not an easy pill to swallow. So basically, I have things set to smelt finished products. So I've got all that set up, and that's nothing special. I've got things set up to export to my AE system that isn't going to be processed. I've got something that will dump liquids. Basically, what's happening is in this electrolyzer, things that get electrolyzed sometimes produce byproducts that isn't gas. So these cells will get consumed for those specific things. Now what this will do is extract these back into this chest, and then Steve's Factory Manager will pull it over into one of these two machines. And I don't know why you need two different machines for the same thing, but some of the empty cells will only empty out in the canning machine, and some will only empty out in the fluid canner. But either way, we need to get rid of I just get rid of those liquids. I know there's probably something I need to do with those liquids further down. I'm not sure, because I'll get fluorine and chlorine and all kinds of other weird gases. But this Steve's Factory Managed cable up here takes care of the other gases that are produced in that. So everything's getting voided out as far as that, just to keep the whole system operating. And then this here just takes the empty cells and pushes them back out to the electrolyzer, so it's constantly full of them. I have my diamond processing here to do all the sifting in an auto crafter in order to craft up the finished diamond dusts, and then those get put back into my AE system. So this will take the this will take these flawless and chipped ones, because they need to be broken down into dust, and push them back out to the crusher. And then it takes and hammers any of the flawless and I don't know, the other diamond pieces. And this takes the purified dusts, and actually this takes the output of the sifter. So that's the whole processing around diamonds. Now, where it gets really interesting, I guess, is the electrolyzer. I kind of want to shoot myself every time I look at this, because you've got these byproducts, and each of them are a differing amount that goes into the electrolyzer. So you can't just set up one and just let it go to town. You need to have so like this one's glossular dust or whatever, it takes 20 dust. So I need to input it and then output it over to the electrolyzer. And then things like ruby, I didn't set is 6. I should probably set that import just in case I process any rubies. Oh, it's already set. Okay. So like rubies takes 6 dust to do something in the electrolyzer, and then you have galena, which is 8, and so on and so forth. So each time I get a new dust that I need to do in the electrolyzer, and it looks like I don't have lead configured to export. So let's do that. And if you use .inv, I don't know if I mentioned it in one of my other ones, this is your player inventory, and it makes things a lot easier. I wish I'd known that when I was doing some of the crash landing and whatnot. So now we've got red garnet, which I don't think I have set up. And we've got these other ones I'm going to have to look through and figure out what I want to configure. But this is keeping all the dusts processed. So yeah, I can basically go out mining and have a good time and dump everything back here. Now the last task I would have to do is wire this storage system up into that guy over there, or even import it into my AE system, but then I don't want to get a bunch of garbage. So I should probably process the rock salt, but I've got all these flowers and whatnot that, you know, maybe I set up a Botania one, but it all takes resources, so I'm not particularly in a hurry to do that. It works well enough. I can grab the ores that are important to me, and at least I have, you know, permanent storage, and, you know, a way to get it back here, and then something to do when I get back here is to process those out. So usually mining trips don't last too long for me, because I just go out, whack through the vein in, you know, 10 minutes or so, and then I'm back here processing it. So yeah, I think we're good. I'm gonna have to clean up some of this stuff. I could probably process out these guys, because those have been a pain in my butt. Expand out my storage some and get rid of these last few barrels. And then next episode, I'm debating. I don't know if I want to upgrade my boiler, which we could do. We need to make canthal, and it requires some special steps because you got to process the hot canthal and whatever, or get oil. One of the goals we've set out for ourselves is getting to the moon and Mars and asteroids and blah blah blah, and we've basically made no progress. But I know where some oil is. I know where I want it. I could go set up one of my enhanced portals out there. And then next episode we could get some pump set up, get it pumping back in here and processing. What do we need to do to start getting into Galacticraft? We need our NASA workbench or something, I think. Is it called that? Let me just look that up. Yes. Which requires, yeah, I remember this. I've been this way before. Oh, look at that! You can compress. Oh, that's interesting. You don't have to use the Galacticraft one. Okay. Well, that'll make things a lot easier. That I don't have to do that. We do need to make this circuit fabricator. Oh, no we don't. Forming silicone etched high voltage wiring, which is coming from gold. Well, we could do that. Still takes a diamond either way. This might actually be cheaper though. I don't know if the Galacticraft silicone is available. Yeah, it doesn't look like you can craft it, and I think it all goes back into the Greg Tech ore. I don't think there's any Galacticraft ores spawning, so we're gonna have to use that. So we can actually do that as well. So this is looking actually quite possible. We just need that rocket fuel. Yeah, okay. Well, I don't know if we need this piece upgraded yet, but yeah, you know, I'll decide and I'll figure out what we want to do. And I've been growing some trees. It looks like they're too close because I need to pretty this place up. Yeah, they're too close. I need to space them out. I need to more of a corporate campus kind of feel here. Maybe I need to put some landscaping around it rather than having it look all wild like that. But that'll about do it for this episode, and I apologize about the whole cut there. The basic goal was just getting that one terminal up and everything down there, and I think I was right on par for 30 minutes, and yeah. So leave a like or subscribe and have a good one, guys.